Well, hello, all you wonderful people out there. Welcome to another Vegematic Deluxe show. You lucky person. You have somehow stumbled into the sub-basement of the internet and found yourself watching this and wondering, how did I get here? Anyway, good to see everybody. Oh, what a week I've had. I think I mentioned last week that I had bought a new computer, and I finally got it out of the box a few days ago and set it all up and unhooked my old one and got all the wires properly installed and turned it on. And I go through the Windows thing, okay, loading all this stuff. And I get finished and there's no taskbar on the bottom. There's no way to use the computer without a taskbar, obviously. So I'm looking all over YouTube trying to figure out what happened to the missing taskbar. So after being unable to deal with it that way, of course I went back to the store and said, hey, I've got no taskbar. And they go, I've never heard of that. And one old little troll guy in the back, who's like the ultimate geek, came out and said, oh, I know how to fix that. And he gave me the instructions to fix it. Went home, did just what he said, and hallelujah, the taskbar mysteriously appeared. Now I've still got to go through this whole hell of setting it all up and configuring everything. And once upon a time, we didn't have computers. We had our heads. We used to abuse them in all kinds of ways because that's what we did in the 70s. It's how we survived that strange time. Of course, a lot of you are old people. Not everybody, but probably the large majority of my audience are old people. Anyway, I thought I'd review some interesting stories that I've come across. They're kind of fun, so in this age of paranoia, gun violence, smoky skies, sometimes it's good to look on the bright side of life. Be happy. Now, anybody that's watched Vegematic for a while will know that I am fervently anti-gun. Here's a story. A guy in Illinois. Yeah, in a small town somewhere in Illinois. Police were summoned to a house after hearing a shot. Some neighbors heard a shot. So they went there and to find a man lying on his couch, having shot himself in the leg while he was dreaming of an intruder. So he had, I guess, this .357 Magnum, and in his dream, he shot himself in the leg. Wonderful. Now, do you ever question Americans' need for guns? I just don't get the whole gun culture thing, and that story just kind of points out that when people are, let's face it, moronically inclined, then they're going to buy guns and abuse them in some way, or do something stupid like shoot yourself in the leg. Yeah, so he was taken to hospital and charged with careless use of a firearm. Yeah, I think probably maybe shooting himself in the leg might have given him pause about sleeping with the .357 Magnum under his pillow. But who am I? I'm not paranoid. I don't worry about it. So you can no longer take a bus ride on Route 666 to hell. Hell, Poland had a bus line that ran to the Polish city of Hell. I think there's only one L in it, there's not two, so it's not the official place. And people used to come from all around to ride bus 666 to hell because it was funny. And conservative Christian groups were all aflutter in, this is scary, this is the devil, and it's not something to be taken lightly. And they made them change the bus to another number. No word on the town of hell whether they wanted to change that too. But in Polish and English, hell probably means different things. Sometimes, you've just got to give out awards. Award for the stupidest environmental criminal in the world. Yes, I'm talking about in India, where an Indian official who was in charge of the local reservoir decided to take a selfie above the reservoir. Unfortunately, he dropped his expensive smartphone into the water and down it went. Nobody could get it back. Poor guy. So what did he do? He drained the reservoir of 1 million liters of water in the most water-stressed country in the world, so he could retrieve his smartphone. And guess what? He tried to start it up and it wouldn't work. There's a surprise. Oh well, it was only 1 million liters. That's not going to make much difference to the poor Indian farmers that are trying to grow crops to feed themselves. But the smartphone was retrieved, so I guess it's all worthwhile in the end. It's a happy ending, isn't it, folks? And in Hong Kong, oh my goodness, Dutch artist Florentin Hoffman and my friend AB Space C over in Holland will forgive me for my bastardization of the name. But anyway, this Dutch artist has come up with gigantic rubber ducks as an art piece. They're huge plastic rubber ducks. They're about 32 feet high, apparently. And of course, in Hong Kong, they all rushed to see these ducks, and these 2 ducks that were like 32 feet high. And it was, I don't know, I don't get it, but art, it's art, right? And unfortunately, because of the heat, extreme heat, one of them sprung a leak and ended up a big mass of yellow plastic. So our beloved Canadian maple syrup is under threat. I've talked about imitation maple syrup before, but our real maple syrup is under threat. Anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about the drug syndicate smuggling methamphetamines inside of maple syrup can. Now this offends me as a Canadian. What next? Are they going to be shipping poutine around the world and they're going to insert meth into it? Anyway, New Zealand police found 3/4 of a ton of liquid meth. That's enough to speed up an entire nation, isn't it? Yes, inside maple syrup, disguised as maple syrup. But it wasn't really maple syrup because Canadian police had smartly swapped the meth out for a harmless liquid and then continued their investigation, wherein 766 gallons of liquid meth were found in Australia. But anyway, they busted the whole thing, so they're not going to be speeding around everywhere. But just watch your maple syrup because it can be adulterated. Always insist on pure Canadian maple syrup. And Canadian content when you consume entertainment. Like the Vegematic channel. I'm proud to be Canadian. Sort of. I guess. A little bit. You can write the most innocuous comment and someone will find fault with it. There was a terrible tragedy, a multiple murder thing that happened in Nottingham, England. And I left a comment saying, oh, my heart, I'm heartbroken because my mother was from Nottingham and I spent time in Nottingham. And I said, I am so sorry for the good citizens of Nottingham and somebody got offended by me using the word citizen for some reason. And I don't know, it's weird. It's like no matter what, somebody's gonna find something to bitch about. Well, I say, I will bitch for you. Send your comments to me. Bitch about anything you want. I want long bitch sessions about everything that's pissing you off, and then next week I'll read them back just for amusement. Thank you for watching, and just keep watching, okay? Just keep watching Vegematic Deluxe, because my ego depends on it, and I did not get enough attention as a child. So I need your attention, please. Yeah. Take care, everybody. Bye.